The aim of this video is to encourage our women to take more responsibility for their health. Breast cancer affects us all and may be cured if it is found early. Most of the women you are about to see are survivors of breast cancer. Here are our stories, and we hope they help other sisters to stay strong.
Hi, I'm Judy. I'm 45. I'm a primary school teacher.
Hi, my name's Linda Woody and I'm a Gungari woman from South West Queensland.
Hello, my name's Veronica Cabillo. I'm 45 years of age. I was born and bred in Northern Territory, currently living here in Victoria.
Hello, my name's Lucy Connolly. I live in Swan Hill.
My name's Cherie Waite. Maiden name is Britton. I'm a Yorta woman.
I actually found the lump myself. It was quite hard, and I just went to the doctor and said that I'd found this lump I was concerned about, and then I just had a mammogram, an ultrasound, and then a biopsy, needle biopsy.
I happened to notice there was a lump on my nipple, so it was from then that my journey began, and I went and saw my doctor, my GP, and he told me not to worry. It's very unlikely that it is cancer.
So then I went to the doctor, and what did he say? He said, as I walked out the office, they'd done all the tests, and on this day he said, well, you got symptoms, but he didn't say what, because I never ever asked the doctor any questions. And he said, you got symptoms, you come back another 6 months' time. But I never went back. 6 months, 12 months, 18 months went by, and I still didn't go back to him. So the caravan pulled in and I went down to the caravan.
It was only on the 7th of May that I realised, which was my birthday, I'm sitting there under the shower crying, and then I realised, oh my God, Veronica, the lump's still there.
So I got into the St Vincent's on the Monday. They did a mammogram, and then they said that they would like to do an ultrascan.
Being an Aboriginal person, you don't hear these words, mammogram. You don't even know what that is. So I think what I think should happen is explanation of what this is, what you have to do. When you finally get into the room where it's going to happen, that's when the nurse quickly tells you what is going to happen.
Today I'll do 4 pictures for you, okay? The first 2 top to bottom.
I think it has to happen before that. That's the healing beginning of that part of a mammogram, because immediately you're thinking all sorts of things. Why did the doctor suggest I have that? What is it? Have I got cancer in my breast? You are now putting all these hideous thoughts in your own mind. You have no one to talk to because you just don't quite know what to say and how to explain it.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in October 1999.
On the 18th of May, I was diagnosed with breast cancer to my right breast.
Probably 3.5 years now.
I was diagnosed 2 years ago with cancer.
I was diagnosed last year.
And I'm sitting there, laying there on this bed, and I could see the nurse looking very nervous and kept flickering, and all I could see at the corner of my eye was this TV, and I'm thinking something's deadly wrong here. It's got to be. And she said, as soon as she said, excuse me, I've got to call the doctor, and I knew that I had something very drastic.
When the pathology report came back, I was more concerned for my doctor's response to the pathology. He couldn't believe that it showed that I had cancer. I think they called it DCIS. He was beside himself.
Yeah, my mother had breast cancer, but she wouldn't let him do nothing to it. when they first found us only years ago, and you wouldn't believe it, she went to Peter McCullum was the first time, and she wouldn't let him do nothing, cause she just like a little bit of weed, and they never ever, she wouldn't let him do nothing to her.
My main thought was my daughter. She'd already lost a dad. Yeah, my daughter. I suppose it's when you're a single mum, then the first thing you think about, who's going to care for my children?
For me, because I've been a smoker, I thought, oh, I'll go down with lung cancer, if anything. But not with it all. Went in and she'd said to me about 3 times, I can remember looking at her straight in the eye. She's saying, do you understand what I'm saying to you, Ronnie? And I said, yes, I do. You've just told me that I've got breast cancer to the right breast. It's malignant.
I guess the first thing that comes through my mind was, no, I just didn't believe, disbelief. I was just in disbelief for a couple of days, and you hear about other people, my friends' mums and whatnot having cancer, and you just don't think it would happen to you. And yeah, we got the call, and it was hard because we were down here, my sister and I, and Mum was up home, and yeah, it was just a lot disbelief about it all.
Not me, I've always played sports, very active, always been coaching, whether it was basketball, soccer, hockey, you name it. I was with my kids and they were also active. No, not me, getting cancer.
Really, the immediate families, particularly, siblings in the family and the partners, I think they suffer everything that the sufferer is going through, and I think support for them is just as important, because they feel so helpless through the whole process of not being able to do anything about their loved one who's suffering with cancer. That's really hard to bear when you see somebody you love suffering and you can't do anything about it.
They let me know that, of course, I was at stage 2, but I was a high risk because of the nature and the type of the tumour that I had in my breast.
When they did the operation on my breast, they, like a boiled egg, hard-boiled egg, they cut off the top and threw away the nipple and some of that breast, and then they took all the inside out and threw that out too.
What happened, they cut out the lump, and then everything, had the operation and everything like that. They'd done all that.
I had surgery within the time I was diagnosed, within the 3 weeks.
They realised that I'd woken up out of this operation, and all I could hear my mum say was, "How are you, sweetie?" I said, "I don't feel anything different, Mum, but I know that one breast is gone."
Straight away I had surgery to take the lump out, and then they tested that, and then a week later I had the axillary clearance, and then after that I started on the chemotherapy, which was a 4x4 they called it. It was pretty horrible. I really hated the needles, but they got the best nurse in the hospital to give it to me every time.
I went through 4 hits of chemo, and each time within a space of 12 hours after having the drip put in, the AC going through the drip, I'd be back in hospital again, violently ill. It really went through my body, racked me, and couldn't take anything down. I puffed up like a balloon, and it was just horrendous. I was this, I don't know, it would have been about a size 12, 14 like today, and I went up to about between a size 18, I think. The chemotherapy and being on tamoxifen had just bloated my face, and I couldn't believe that this was the same person.
I read the material, made a decision, and thought, yes, I will do the chemotherapy with the radiotherapy straight after it. and I would participate in a clinical trial so I could help other people, other women. First time I had Taxi I was in Bendigo Hospital, and the staff was all standing around in case something went terribly wrong, and it did. I was in the small percentage of people who react to that particular drug.
It invades you, it invades your body, it invades your mind. It's a poison that just takes over everything, and you don't have control of anything. I lost my memory quite often. It's fairly common with chemotherapy, and they were very understanding, because you just wouldn't know things like people would ask you, oh, can you do this on that day? And you'd think, well, I don't even know what day it is today.
I don't know, I've always had long hair, and having to get up and feel that there was nothing there, you know, automatically I used to get up and shake my hair every morning and there was nothing there. And
also with the chemotherapy, it made me go through menopause twice. I had what they called chemo-induced menopause.
I've spoke to my children about it, and they said that they had to be more independent, which was certainly the case, because I was often bedridden, and they would have to get their meals and my tablets a lot, and yeah, they took on quite an adult role.
And I sat there, and what got me sort of, I guess, snapped me out of that oppression and depression was I actually sat there on my second hit of chemo, and I had this 16-year-old girl on my left, and I guess the young fella, he was about 22, on my right, and I thought, oh my God, what are you whinging about, Veronica? Look, these two young people going through the same thing.
So the first one was a really, really bad experience for me, but this, you know, and of course then I dreaded the next one, thinking, this is what I'm going to go through every day. But when you wake up every morning and you look at your daughter, you think, well, you know, you've got a reason to fight and you've got a reason to live.
So you got to have a bit of fun in this situation, especially picking out wigs. I know it sounds horrible, but it was the best fun we had during chemotherapy. There's this big place in the city, and there was all these wigs, and we tried on all these different ones. I think the lady thought we were just mental. We tried on black, blonde, red, purple, dreadlocks. We went for a number of different looks for Mum, but we found one very similar to her hair colour, so that was fun, and trying them on, and we had really, that's the only day I really had fun with Mum having cancer, was doing this whole new look thing.
What actually happened was I was at a Thanksgiving party in Echuca, and I'd collapsed in excruciating pain in my back. We ran to the hospital. We had scans done the following day, and she was the bearer of the bad news that cancer had come back, and it was pretty much all over my body, scattered all over my body. If you can imagine someone flicking paint all over you, my cancer was like that, and now it's all reduced to smaller spots, and they're in specific places. One of the amazing things that's happening to me too is that I've been very much in touch with my spirituality, and I may not have done it if I hadn't had cancer. I believe my grandmother walks beside me. I had an experience where she came to me, and I believe ever since then that she's with me. So that's how I've lived my life, as if I don't have a lot of time. That's how I've that's what I've kind of reflected in the kids, that, you know, Mum's not going to be around for a long time, so, you know, we've got to make the most of things. And I've taught my kids as twice or maybe 3 times as much as I normally would if I was well, and I've tried to love them 10 times as much as I would, you know. So they're the good things that have come out of it.
Since I've had cancer, I've enjoyed new experiences, and I'm developing myself as an artist, which I've never done before, and my friends are really encouraging me. Poetry, I'm starting to do that more again, and reading, I'm doing that, especially spirituality books and self-help books, and I'm really just loving being alive and doing things for myself.
In our days, even every nation, you wouldn't have seen what we see today. You know, the families don't talk about your bodies and anything like that. I've got a big scar there, so where they've been in there cutting around, and that should be showed, and so other women can see.
Because after, like I said, having realised that I had an aunt and a great aunt, a great aunt actually, that had breast cancer, and I was not aware of it. That's being too close to in the line of family connection that they do take these tests quite regularly, and they have doctors have actually sat down and explained to them too, because you're very close in that female line.
I've found that it's something you have to talk about, because it's like you're looking down a barrel all the time. That might sound a bit negative and harsh, but healthy people have an abstract vision of death, and they all say, yeah, but anyone could get hit by a bus or a car. They're just words. When you've actually got something that's inside you that can tear you down, take your life from you, and sometimes in a very, very quickly, that's real. I don't think people understand that.
Hi, my name's Sue Hedges. I'm an Aboriginal breast screen worker at the Victorian Aboriginal Health Service. My role is to encourage all the women to go and have a mammogram. In the position that I'm in, we also do information sessions to encourage women to do self-breast examination, get to know their body. We run a women's camp once a year. Some of the resources that Breast Screen and the Victorian Aboriginal Health Service have developed is our Koori flip chart. As a worker, I don't know what the women are experiencing, so therefore we put them in contact with each other so that they could ask questions like, am I going to lose all my hair, or did you have chemo, or did you just have radio, which was very good because the women then started to form a Koori support group.
My name's Lynn Briggs. I'm the Manager of Women's and Children's Unit at the Health Service. I've been here for a number of years. The unit itself is made up of women's health programs. So we have breast screen, pap screen, and we also have children's health. We also have maternity programs, maternal and child health, audiology, paediatrics, and obstetrician gynaecologist. I think that's one of the biggest things, you know, for Indigenous women in the metro area to understand that, you know, we have a worker here that can lead you through this process. We have resources and you know, in education and health promotions around breast screen that we've developed too, so that it's easy, basic information to understand.
Yes, the main thing is, you know, straight away from the start, like getting to know things, like they teach the kids things at school. They teach them the facts of life at school, so now they can go the rest of your body, you know, keep it all in and try and learn and find out things. Like if where everybody's frightened, you know, you're scared to go and show your body or go or speak about any of it to a doctor or anything like that. And if you're frightened, you know, you get somebody to go with you, you know, and go and try and do it straight away.
I think the most important thing is to be really conscientious about you yourself as a person and as a woman, what women go through giving birth and you know, rearing children, to really think about your health.
If you don't understand something that you're being told about your health, ask.
to all those women out there, to all our women, you know, to all the sisters out there, the aunties, the nieces, the moment you sight of your body, just your body being unwell, you may not have sighted anything or felt anything, but just the moment that you're not feeling that your body's right, because we know our own bodies, you know your own bodies, please go and get a wellbeing checkup.
It has helped us realise the importance of family places.
I learned that within my mum having cancer that materialistic things didn't matter anymore. It was the more important things that come from the heart, like memories and talks and, you know, family that mattered to me. And I realised that, you know, I had to change my way of thinking.
When you're not sure about something, just get it checked out just to be sure.
If you do go for one, something does show up. It's not, and you're called back. It's not necessarily that you've got cancer. There's other things that can show up that you have to go back and have another one for.
Take that first step forward with anything that you think is wrong with your body. Take that first step forward and bite the bit and go for it, because you will never know if you don't do it. You will never know. You'll be hanging around at home washing up dishes and stuffing around with kids when you should be looking after yourself first so you can live X amount of years longer with the help and aid of other professional people.